My name is Ned, and my goal is to produce videos, podcasts to help people like you and me live happier and healthier lives. How do I plan to do this? Well, I want to share little known but impactful truths that will make a huge impact on our lives. How did I get this information? Well, initially, I read books by Plato, The Course in Miracles, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and Journey and Destiny of Souls as well, among other works. I used to meditate regularly, and I've been working on my spiritual path for many years now. I want to start with positive thinking, how important that is. I know it's a cliche, but it's really more important than you know. So, we as humans have really two minds. We have the conscious mind, which allows us to formulate our thoughts and turn the thoughts into actions and be aware of our surroundings through our senses and also the thoughts that we have and the emotions that we have. On the other side, you have the unconscious mind. And many times, this is called our higher self. And this is where our intuition comes from. And it's the storehouse of our belief systems. And that is formed from all of our past experiences. Um, so to live our lives, obviously, thinking is necessary, right? But if you don't act as a third party observer of your thoughts, okay? You don't police your thoughts objectively, non judgmentally, then you might fall prey to uh, negative thinking. Like a large percentage of your day might be that. So, negative thinking can do great physical and emotional harm to you. Um, this is synonymous with the ego. So, these thoughts come from the ego. Um, let's think of it this way. Let's say on this shoulder, you have a mini me, and he has a halo on his head. Okay. And on this shoulder, we have another mini me, but he's got a pitchfork. So this guy would represent the devil or the ego in this case. And this guy is our higher self, our intuition. Um, so when obviously we have to think like we said, but if you can't shut off the thoughts, then this guy's not going to be heard very often. Okay. All you hear is this guy. And this guy is the one that's going to be whispering in your head. Um, Examples of negative thinking would be, let's say, you get assigned a task to do at work. And this guy would say, there's no way I can do this. It's too difficult. I'm going to fail. I don't have the skills for this. How could they assign this task to me? And this guy, the positive guy, might say something like this. This is a challenging task, but it's also an opportunity to learn and grow. I can break down into smaller steps and ask for help if I need it. I'm going to give it my best shot. Okay, so it's subtle, right? But one guy is going to set you up for failure, and the other guy is going to help you elevate yourself. Okay, thinking the positive way for an extended period is the way to get out of ruts where you feel stuck in life. This guy wants you to be stuck in life. Why? Because he can remain alive, right? As you align your life, your actions, your thoughts with your higher self more and more, the ego diminishes, eventually to a point where it's only needed to survive, like your body, like the physical needs of the body, right? It may talk, but you don't hear that. Okay, the negative side. So that's why we're in this continuous loop, a vicious loop, if you will, where we have hardships in our life. It's because we hear this guy too much and listen to him too much and end up um, not being able to break out of that cycle. So Have you heard of the book called The Secret? It was a big thing, a while back. Um, that book's premise is whatever you focus on, your thoughts for an extended period, is what you'll get. Right? That's what you're putting out to the universe to deliver to you. How? It doesn't matter. That's not your problem. The universe will figure that out. So let's say you want a big house or you want a fancy car. So you put up pictures of fancy cars around your house, in your bathroom. So it stays at the top of your mind, right? And you pray about it for however many times a day. Eventually, the thinking is that that will be delivered to you. And many times it works. But what they don't tell you is if that kind of thinking is not aligned with your higher self, meaning it's not like a common good for everybody or for yourself, it may not happen, right? So we need to be diligent about um, policing our thoughts, thinking the right way. And this is a societal problem, like it's conditioned. Many times we hear things from our friends or our parents or whomever, and it's negative thinking. But if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't identify it as a third party observer, not as like from a judgmental standpoint, okay? Once you identify the negative thought or the negative emotion, even, you can dismiss it, you can change it, right? And it takes practice. It's not something that you can do in like a day or two, right? Depending on how much you're conditioned to think negatively, it may take a week, 2, 5 weeks, or longer. It depends. But if you're diligent about policing your thoughts, um, thinking the right way, when you get a negative thought, identify it, change it to the positive, right? And then dismiss it. Don't judge yourself for the negative thought. Then you can, raise your level of living. And then that's literal and physical because our bodies emit a vibrational frequency. Everybody does. And if you think negatively, your vibrational frequency is lower. And other people sense that as well. Whether they consciously know it or not, they sense it. And if you think positively and you carry yourself physically in a positive way, shoulders back instead of hunched, back straight, smiling, confident, and you have the same thoughts to back up that image, then you're going to be at a much higher vibrational frequency. And that is the key to getting out of the ruts and the cycles of difficulty that we're in. Okay? Nobody's going to come out and tell you that. At least nobody told me that. I had to learn that the hard way. And after many years of practicing positive thinking, even when I was, hurt emotionally or otherwise by others, if you're able to think positive, if you're able to not hold a grudge, if you're able to dismiss the negativity from your body, then you will be able to achieve this happier and healthier life that we're talking about. How does health relate to positive thinking? Well, we're emotional beings and we live on this based on a frequency. And the negative thinking emits the negative frequency, which causes more guilt to build up in your psyche. And the negative thinking and the guilt eventually cause stress. And the stress causes illness, physical illness, manifesting itself in any number of ways, anything. And positive thinking, like I said, not non-judgmentally, allows you to purify your thoughts so that you can go about your day like you normally do. But at the same time, when you're in a difficult situation, you perform better. Okay? You're not putting extra stress on yourself. You're able to think clearly through the situation. You're not finding someone to blame for the situation you're in. You're looking for an answer instead of, looking for an excuse. So this is the first uh, of my many podcasts I hope to have. And if you have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I will read every one and I will reply to any of them that require it. And If this video resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up just to let me know that this is the kind of content that you're looking for and that is helping. And if you would like to find out more about my channel and new episodes that I'll be creating weekly, feel free to subscribe as well. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you very much for your time.